There's a lot of yellow lights, Thor. There's a lot of yellow lights in this house.
And you know what yellow lights mean?
Go faster.
Go faster. Before she knows.
There's a lot of honey, I did this, and please forgive me.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Fish Addictions, The Real Talk. We kind of changed the name and turned it around a little bit because people were like, it's Fish Addictions. It's not The Real Talk with Fish Addictions. It's Fish Addictions, The Real Talk. And today we have a special guest, someone close to my heart, my wife, Laura Olson, who puts up with all the stuff that you guys get to see behind the scenes. She's we'll butter her up a little bit. She's the rock. She's the person that keeps the household together. So thanks for joining us.
Also the green light and red light.
There's a lot of yellow lights, Thor. There's a lot of yellow lights in this house.
And you know what yellow lights mean?
Go faster.
Go faster. Before she knows.
There's a lot of honey, I did this, and please forgive me. Barb, John, you raised a good one. No, it's been a little bit since we got an episode out, with the holidays, and we're sitting here on New Year's, basically getting one of these out for you guys.
Eve.
It is New Year's Eve.
Yellow light. It is New Year's Eve.
We are still in 2020.
Thanks, dear.
Is yellow light going to become a tagline now during Fish Addictions episodes?
Very possible.
I have a feeling there's going to be you're going to look back at a camera and yell yellow light and then jump your snowmobile off of something.
I don't watch that episode.
Are you worried for my safety?
All the time, dear. All the time.
Oh, gosh.
That's so sweet.
Is it? Because I can't tell for sure if she means it or not. So how sweet is that?
I don't know. It depends on how up to date the life insurance policy is, I suppose.
I just renewed it.
So, yeah. Heavy with the sarcasm.
I mean, he was teaching our son to jump in a big ditch tonight.
Saw that.
Hey, he graduated from the Z120. We got him a little 340. It goes faster. He needs to learn how to jump it and handle it.
I would think jumping would not be the first or second or third time on it.
Yeah, but he has jumped the Z120 all the time. Geez, we're having a domestic dispute in 30 seconds in.
I jumped my snowmobile the first time I was on it.
Yeah.
How old were you?
23.
Not 10.
It was also on accident.
Yeah.
The headlight went out and I crossed a plow road.
Oh, boy.
It was a very big accidental jump.
Well, on this episode, guys, we're just going to kind of talk. We're going to catch up with the season. We have been filming. We've been out. We've had a lot of fun experiences. The guys have been out around. We've been hitting all over. Basically, so far, we've stayed kind of in our area, local area, within 3 hours of home.
Yep.
Just to kind of, because we know the ice conditions, and the ice conditions have been really weird, so we'll touch on that a little bit. Kind of a big bite update.
Yep.
We'll give one of those. And we'll give Laura a little question and answer. And I get, it is something that I get a lot. Is like, it's never because guys will never ask this question. It's never your wife lets you do that, because it's a lot of your wife is a saint. Because we're gone. I hate to say the number of days we're gone, because I'm not sure she keeps track of it.
Don't do it.
Do you keep track of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I have. Not recently, because I did once and I started feeling bad about it. So I didn't want to keep track of it anymore.
So just like in other relationship advice, we're not going to talk about our numbers.
Right. Well, in all fairness, as my kids get older, I bring them with me a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So, but, she decided to have a fourth child that's 5 years younger than our youngest one. And she just loved changing diapers so much that she wanted to have another child. And I love them to death. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't love the kid.
Is that really what the age gap is?
Yeah. 5 years.
That's how long it took him.
To say yes.
Figure it out.
To figure what out?
Like, we could have a much older child if you would have just figured it out sooner.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have Con Man.
Maybe would have another one.
Having a heart attack right now.
This is gonna get weird.
No.
Yeah. No.
No. No. It's only as weird as you make it.
Well, I have a feeling Mike's gonna make it weird.
I hope not.
I won't make it weird. You're right. He might make it weird.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
No, but so Fish Addictions TV is off and rolling. We had great support for episode 1.
Yep.
Where we traveled to the Detroit Lakes area and really had a blast getting on the crappies. Now, I think we touched base. Actually, we did our last podcast with a few of the guys that were on that trip, talked about it a little bit on that trip. I want to thank everybody for checking that episode out. And if you haven't, get over there and check it out because you're not going to see crappie fishing like that very often. It was a unique bite that we had to really, really stay on the fish. I've never been on a crappie bite where you would catch one fish out of a hole and that was it, because the school, which was a pretty good sized school, was moving so fast that without the live scope and without guys calling cadences, basically we were leapfrogging each other and the cadence was to the left 20 to, we were calling it out. And so it was a pretty cool episode. I think we showcased that pretty well in the episode and really showcased how well a bite like that works, but with multiple people. I've always said that I think you can take one live scope with a group of guys and be pretty effective, which you could be in most cases. But in that case, it took multiple units to get to where we're at. Yeah.
Well, and do you think that truly was the first time you've been on that bite, or do you think it's the first time you realized that you were on that bite? Because how many bad days of crappie fishing have you had?
Yeah.
Where you only catch one fish every 20, 30 minutes because that school's rotating so fast.
That's a really good point. And I had a few people reach out after the episode and really asked kind of that same question. I've thought a lot about that. And you're probably 100% right? Because if you can stay on that school, because a lot of times when, especially with crappies, when you are on a school, you pull a couple up and then it's slow for a while. And in that bite too, I think if you would have stayed in one hole, you would have had them come through multiple times during the day, because especially when you look at the aerial view of where we were at and the holes that we drilled, and we were on them for 5 hours consistently.
Yeah.
It all was within 100 and 150 yards of each other all the way around. And we visited multiple portions of that drill out multiple times.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. I think that is definitely the case. Now, what I did realize and what I have realized over the course of the last 2 years is when we first got live scope, we always talked about we drilled less. Don't have to drill as many holes. That's not the case.
Now you're drilling more because you can get more.
I don't know if we're drilling more holes, but the holes we're drilling are with a purpose.
Yep.
We're not blindly drilling and then finding, because we used to have to drill a grid out and then figure it out with our electronics. Now we're drilling. A lot of times we'll drill, find a group of fish, and then we'll drill 5-6 holes around those fish, depending on how many people we have there, and set down on top of them and move as we need to. But yeah, I agree with you. That's probably happened way more times than I can count, because I can remember many, many times where you catch 5-6, and most of the time those crappies are in schools of 20, 30, 40, 50, 200. Depending on the school that you're with. What?
20, 40, 200.
It makes sense. It really does. Honey, as a fisherman, these people are going to realize that. And the wives are laughing at me right now because they're laughing at you, and that's all right. Actually, you want to know a statistic that you maybe don't know about Fish Addictions TV?
What is that?
Don't get too excited. Fish Addictions TV has more women watching it than any other show. You want to know why? Because they relate and have fun watching us. Do you have fun watching us? Have you watched our show first? We should clarify that.
Because Alex
has not watched our show, so we should definitely clarify that before we get too far.
Yes, I've watched the show.
Thank you for the support. She needs to know where the heck we're at all year long.
I used to follow Snapchat. Oh, look at there it is.
Oh, wait, Snapchat. Yeah, we need to get back into that.
We do.
How do we figure that out? Can we put you on that? Can you
have to take me with you?
No.
So then
No. We got to get back into it. Like, we got to find how to get back into our Snapchat.
So you don't want to take me on your trips.
Because Aaron Eichhorst, our old camera guy, still big support of the show. Aaron, we've been trying really hard to get a way to get into our Snapchat, and we actually don't really know exactly how to get into it. And there's been people asking us, like, why aren't you guys Snap? I mean, we're doing Instagram stories and stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I followed you on Snapchat. And then people would ask me, where's your husband? I'm like, South Dakota, maybe?
I don't know when he opened the app last, but the last time he opened it, he was in South Dakota.
Wait, did we have our location on in Snapchat?
I don't know.
No way.
I don't know.
Number one rule. There are people that have their location on a Snapchat that I'm friends with that guarantee don't know they do.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's an opt-out, not an opt-in feature.
Yeah.
I always get nervous. Like, I always check mine and then it says that you are not sharing your location, and that makes me happy. But then I always want to ask somebody else if they can see where I'm at because I don't quite trust it.
Like it's a ploy.
We're going through COVID right now. I mean, I know you and I differ a little bit on the whole COVID thing, so we're not going to get into that, but everything's a ploy nowadays. It's true. I think. Thor?
I don't know if I want to get into this one. I don't know if I want to be in the middle of that.
All right.
Well, we know our stances. You just be yours.
Yeah, but I feel like both of you can negatively impact my life.
No. Nigga, never do something like that.
Only if you let us.
Because Mike is my boss, but you're his boss.
Whoa. You.
Did you hear yellow light?
We're talking after this now. That's definitely yellow light stuff.
There was no red light.
God. Are you giving her the upper hand?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Darwin says
gotta
survival of the fittest.
Somebody's got to give it to me.
Oh,
I guess I
honey.
got it before.
Anyways, so episode 2 actually launched tonight. We had a premiere, and if you guys like that, I'd like to hear what people think about that. We're premiering it. We're watching it live with you guys. I mean, if I was being totally truthful, I've watched it 3 times before you guys, but
Only 3?
yeah, I watch it once, and then the second time I watch it, I write down revisions, and then I usually send the revisions to Tyler, and then the third time, it's like a green light or not. I mean, sometimes I watch it up to 5-6 times.
I think I've watched this one 6 times.
Yeah, I mean, a really typical Lake of the Woods episode. Lots of fish. We did not get that big one. That big one on Lake of the Woods we've had him on a few times, but we have never gotten him on the ice.
It seems like there's less of them in the winter.
Yeah, because you're not moving. The typical Lake of the Woods thing, in the summer, we're finding a lot of big fish, catching a ton of big fish, but we're moving. You can move on the ice, but it's not the same, right? We're covering water, every inch of water. There's a ton of big fish out there, and fishing pressure does a lot too.
Yeah.
But there are days where you land on them and it happens, so, but anything you got that you want to touch base with, Thor?
Well, I would like to know what people think about whether we should continue filming the podcast or if they would prefer if we just do audio.
Yeah, it's something we kind of struggle.
We're cool.
I wouldn't struggle with it
either way.
Yeah, we're trying. This is something again that's new to us. Is episode 4 or 5? 5. Episode 5. I started it out with episode 4, didn't I?
I don't think you said the episode number.
Okay. Well, this is our 5th episode, and we're still feeling our way around it. We really want to create something that you guys like. And so far, it seems like a lot of people like our lightheartedness. We're not really getting into something crazy. We're just talking and having a good time. But filming, it's something we're struggling with. I wouldn't say really struggling with. We're just trying to decide if that's the best route for what we're doing or not.
Because it's a lot of extra work to do the video portion of it. So
there's about half of the people out there just went millennial.
Yeah, but the last podcast I spent 12 hours.
I know, but that was a fluke.
And then scrapped the video.
That was a fluke thing.
Yeah.
The other podcast you spent an hour or two, right?
7 or 8.
That's because we had multiple cameras. But we're trying the one camera thing now.
Yeah.
So if that works out,
Right.
it'll be much better. My vote is video. So
Do you think they like to look at you?
no.
So
It's just for me, when I watch podcasts, I watch the video. I like it.
when you're driving?
Yellow light. Sometimes, yes. Sasquatch Chronicles does not have a video.
Do you watch that?
No video, no watching.
Do you still support it?
Kinda.
Kinda. You have all our children watching Sasquatch Chronicles.
Nope, they're not
Listening-
watching any of it.
listening. I mean, they go with you in your vehicle because they can listen to Sasquatch Chronicles.
It's kind of funny to watch the reactions when they like have like a moment where they think Sasquatch is real.
You still think Sasquatch is real?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the proof needs to be on whoever's telling me Sasquatch isn't real.
Well, so here,
seen it?
No, but you haven't.
You haven't not seen it?
prove to me that Sasquatch isn't real, though.
You're right. I haven't seen it.
I mean,
So-
I've never seen a virus.
Yes, you have. I mean, you haven't, but people have seen a virus underneath a microscope.
People have seen Sasquatch. I'm just not one of them.
yeah, that's true. There's thousands and thousands
Really?
of people that have had Sasquatch. Sasquatch Chronicles has thousands of episodes. All right,
Aliens,
and I am not.
UFOs.
I am
Maybe
not.
should call in and make one up.
Well, that wouldn't be nice.
Yeah, that would.
But what?
That's
do you
not what
think-
we're
You,
here
you
to
just want to
do.
lie to the public?
Yeah. What,
Do you
what kind of
think all
people are
those
they?
Stories are real.
No, I do not think all the stories are real.
Okay,
There's
so
like
then why-
there's like 10 of them that I'm like, well,
Gonna
like
lock my
how do you
doors
even
tonight.
make this up? No, but I will say, be honest. When I was walking my deer stand one morning, I was like I heard something that wasn't normal. I thought it for a split second.
Was it the high pitched squeal or whatever he does?
No, I've never heard that kind of stuff. No. Well,
No, you haven't.
no, there was one time out in the deer stand, like, a long time ago. And I heard some kind of scream and it scared me. And now I just think it's a bobcat that I heard. But at the time I thought Chupacabra or Sam Squatch or
Could have been a mountain lion.
could have been. Where I was at, we have seen mountain lions before. So
I think that would be crazy to be out in the middle of the mountains and just all of a sudden hear the mountain lion scream, because they say it sounds like a woman just screaming in the middle of nowhere. So you think you can get away from the screaming by going out in the mountains? And it's the same yell.
not happening.
I don't yell.
You just get disappointed.
I just raise my voice.
Ah,
I don't
No
know
yelling in
another-
our house, just voice raising.
Whole nother level. That's it.
just punctuate things a little bit more.
Emphasize.
Use exclamation points instead of periods.
Yes.
Well, there are a few things that I want to touch base on. We've been asked a lot what our 2020 or 2021 outlook is going to be. And we've also been, a lot of people have asked about Fox Sports North, and I think we need to reiterate that because a lot of people are asking, when's it coming? When's it? If you guys haven't seen or haven't heard, Fish Addictions is not going to be on Fox Sports North this year. We made the decision to go a different route. We had a great run on Fox Sports. We wouldn't change the way we've done it, but we think there's opportunities to go the route we are, and we're broadening our horizons. We're putting ourselves on more platforms, and we just think that's the right route. So we will have something on our Facebook page on. We'll probably put out a little video or something like that too of where we can catch us, because it's broadening every day. We just had a conversation. Can we even talk about this? Maybe we won't talk about it quite yet, but we have new places all the time right now. It's Carbon TV, it's Outdoor Action TV. And there's a lot of platforms that you can find those two on, plus YouTube. YouTube is obviously our bread and butter place right now.
Mm-hmm.
But don't forget about the Carbon TV and the Outdoor Action TV, where you can find actually all seasons of Fish Addictions TV as of right now. So we're still out there. We're still going, and we're building the platform as we go, and we're actually building it so it's a year-round thing, right? So we can. That's kind of our goal, is to have the opportunity to bring you guys new content all year long. So if it happens in August, it's going to be there in August. If it happens in September, we're going to get it in September. You know, in the past, we've really had the one opportunity, because if we were going to air on Fox Sports and do that kind of stuff, we kind of had to hold it back and not really do it, not really share it very much until then.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest opportunity. And we've got some projects that are in the works right now that people are going to be like, whoa, you know, and because of the decisions we've made with Fox Sports North, we're able to do these cool projects. And I wish I could just burst out and tell everybody, but you guys need to like stay tuned to what's going on, because there's things that we're going to be doing this winter that everybody's going to be like, I get it. I get why they're not doing that anymore. And it's weird, because I feel like I need to explain myself on this whole thing, because guess what? Growing up, what was the one thing every kid that wanted to be in the outdoor space, what was the one thing in our area that we wanted to be on? It was Fox Sports North. Fox Sports North was the thing. Like, if you want to, you know, it's kind of like being a professional football player and that kind of stuff. Like, you have like a favorite team or a favorite place you want to go, or to make the NFL, right? Well, for what we're doing in ice fishing, Fox Sports North kind of is the mecca of ice fishing, you know, and it's kind of crazy that we made the decision to
leave them
to do that. She's all like, oh my. What do you think, dear?
I wanted to be on MTV growing up.
What, singled out?
No, rap music videos.
Did you want to be in a rap music video, or do you want to be a VJ?
VJ.
Isn't that what they were called? Like the MTV host, VJ host, or was that VH1? Oh, that was VH1 for sure, huh? A VJ, VH1 DJ. So what were the people called that were on MTV that did like
DJs? I mean, I had an illusion of becoming a rapper. I wanted to hang out with scantily clad women. Well, that was my goal.
Laura's gonna moon us, or not moon us, but flash us today.
See, much like an older, larger fish would say when you drop a jig down, they would say, that's bait. Don't bite that one.
I wouldn't. Why would I want my wife to do that? I don't. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to get her eyes out of you real quick. I know. That's so hard. You're so smart. Mm-hmm.
Is it because the window's open behind you?
It's chilly on the backside.
Yeah. It's chilly in the backside, she says. We're just talking.
All right. So on Monday, the 2020-21 season truly is going to kick off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You got 3 episodes filmed, but you haven't really been on the road yet, because we've been having a awesome custom built fish house put together for us, and we're going to go pick it up on Monday, and you can hit the road.
Yeah. I mean, green light. You're playing this game now.
It's not even a yellow.
No. So it's going to become yellow very fast, because once we get this big bite house, it's going to be, things are going to happen. They're going to happen fast. And it's going to be, our opportunities are really going to be endless to do what we need to do to make this happen. Because don't get me wrong, we've made that decision not to do Fox Sports North, and that's us confident in ourselves of what we can do. I think that's going to be a huge advantage to what we have this year. We're going to load it up and we're going to go.
Yep.
We're going to be all over the place. I hope we make it to Montana. I hope we make it, we're going to South Dakota next week. We're going to be all over the place, and really we can be there and camp out for multiple days. And it's because of my wife and my kids, who are super understanding about what's going on. I've got kids at the age now. Abby, you guys have all met Abby, hopefully, in episode 1. And
Smash that subscribe button.
Smash that subscribe. That's her favorite thing to say. But it's to make what happens. That's why I wanted to bring Laura on, because to make fish addictions happen, we got to have that well-rounded support group. Don't give yourself 100% of the credit. Abby is a giant help. But yeah, we're going to be traveling everywhere. We got Big Bite Ice Houses has joined our team and really our family. And we are going to be traveling around and showcasing that house we keep calling it like a COVID style because, we'll get a bottle of hand sanitizer, but
I'd make it
on the outside.
I'd make it a couple
bottles.
Yeah, if anybody that has a line on cleaning products wants to call and offer a sponsorship,
Laura will be cleaning the house every time it comes back. Just kidding. Just kidding.
The cleaning supplies bill is going to be massive.
Apron.
Cleaning apron.
Okay.
So where are you going to go since you can't get to Canada?
Well, that's the beauty of this thing is we can just go anywhere. Anywhere there's ice, we'll go. In fact, there's nothing stopping us. If Lake Erie doesn't freeze, why can't we do a Lake Erie episode in the middle of winter in a boat?
Well, when are you getting your new boat?
Does it have to be in my boat? Because if I'm pulling the ice house out, I'm not staying in my boat. I mean, pulling my boat.
I mean, yeah, you just got to find a boat.
I know a lot of people out in Lake Erie.
Well, there you go.
That seems very cold.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be colder
ice
than
fishing.
Being on the ice.
I was going to say, honey, what do you think we do out there? We are on the ice fishing.
But you have
That's why they call it
heaters.
ice fishing.
But you have huts and heaters. You're going in a boat.
Huts.
Mike has set up a fish
Inuit
house like
huts.
4 times.
What else are they called?
Explain to us what you think we do when we're out there. Because this is something that I've really always wondered because
I see it on
you
your
get
Fish
back,
Addictions TV.
We get back from a shoot and it's like, well, you've been fishing for 4 days. And I'm like, yeah, I have been.
And I've been cooking and cleaning and being a taxi cab.
Being a mom.
I'm going to be honest. I'm a little 10 play. Ice fishing for me is not fun. Ice fishing, I think I've had fun ice fishing maybe 6 times. Other than that, it's almost always a feeling of work because it's cold.
I mean, I don't consider
it's a personal decision to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I don't do a lot of ice fishing and I work in an administrative position now.
Look, I love ice fishing. Guys, don't talk to these guys. Ice fishing is awesome. Ice fishing.
I fish a lot.
I have ice fished there are the best memories of my life on the ice before Fish Addictions TV. And you guys are downgrading ice fishing. How dare you?
Yeah, but my best memories are in a boat.
You said you were going on Lake Erie on a boat. And I said, that sounds cold.
Yeah, I know, but
ice fishing is in a hut or a house, ice fishing house. You have warm gear.
We got to get her a plaid shirt and a plaid fold down ear shirt. Because when she says hut, not plaid. I know. Let's not get into that.
I had an Elmer Fudd hat.
We talking to Stormy Kromer? You got rid of a Stormy Kromer?
No.
You're gonna lose subscribers if you're gonna diss a Stormy Kromer right now.
I am not dissing the Stormy Kromer. And no. So listen, she's being a little dramatic here.
Stolen.
So I had this hat made years ago.
Okay.
And it had flaps. It was like a regular stocking hat with a thing up here, and it had stuff. And I passed it off to somebody else, and they have it, and they've never given it up. And we won't name names, Caleb Driscoll, but he now has the hat and has claimed ownership, and apparently Laura likes that. So,
no, I don't like it.
You love it. No, you like the hat.
I like the hat. I don't like the fact that he has my hat. Hat.
No, Merry Christmas. I'm going to get you a new one.
It's been 3 years since I've had that hat.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, rightfully he owns it.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly. You can get the exact one you want, because honestly, I thought that hat was hideous. I thought her wearing it was hideous. Me wearing it was hideous. She got it because I hated it. And then she got it, and I thought it was hideous. So I can't remember 3 years ago, but I probably got rid of it on purpose.
Well, and it probably makes Caleb look better.
He is redhead.
Yeah. How old do you think you have to be to wear a Stormy Kromer?
Let's ask Tony Aloya.
Like I've been kind of waiting.
I mean, I've known Tony Aloya for at least 8 years, and he's had one all 8 years for sure. I guarantee it. But one of my best friends, which I think you knew, Doug.
Yep.
Doug was a big Stormy Kromer fan.
Yeah.
We should order Stormy Kromer hats.
I don't know if it's a personality or if it's an age. I don't know what I need to do to make it appropriate for me to wear a Stormy Kromer, but I want one.
You wear it and you sport it.
You just own it.
And
you just own it. Yeah.
Own it. You don't care what anybody else thinks. You just own it, and you're like.
So it is a
my
mindset.
hat.
All right, I need to rotate the mindset a little bit.
I mean, I just shaved my head to prove a point, and I'm owning it.
You're wearing a hat.
Okay, sorry. I have a shaved head.
Now you're owning
and
it.
I'm owning it.
That's you are.
What?
I said that you are.
You do have a good bald head, though.
Do I?
Yeah.
It's nice and round.
Yeah.
Like it's not pointed.
Yeah. So I swam in high school, and we would shave our heads every year for sections and state. And there are a lot of people out there that
you shaved your heads that make you faster?
Makes you feel. I think it's mostly a mental thing.
Oh.
But
It's like the Stormy Kromer.
yeah, I also don't like wearing swim caps. So either having a shaved head or a swim cap makes you faster. And I didn't like swim caps. But either way, there's a lot of people out there that have really bad shaved heads. They're lumpy or full of moles. And I had a buddy that
Wrinkly.
Yeah, I had a buddy that when he was shaving his head, he found a mole that he didn't know he had until there was blood going everywhere.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. So you do have to be a little careful. But
When is this going to come out before our Garmin giveaway, Thor?
January 6th. Today is the 31st. It should.
So let's remind everybody about our Garmin giveaway. The number one thing in ice fishing, and has been for 2 years, is the live scope. And Fish Addictions and Garmin are giving away a live scope January 6th. And you don't have to do a bunch of stuff to get registered for it. You just got to go to our Facebook, or go to our Facebook page, but go to our YouTube page, find the video that has the Garmin giveaway, which is, I think it's pegged right at the top.
If you're not a subscriber, so if you are not a current subscriber to Fish Addictions TV, go to our YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
The video will be linked immediately there for you. Follow it. Subscribe. Leave us a comment.
And you're in. That easy.
Yeah.
We're not asking for your phone number. We're not asking for your address. We're not going to email you every time. We're not going to call you. We're not going to sell your phone number or email to somebody.
Truth be told, I don't want anybody's phone numbers or email addresses.
No. I literally want you to tell us basically where you're going to use this thing.
Yep.
And you're in. Yeah. Ooh. But my head's getting cold. But I think it's important that people know that and get over there. Mm-hmm. Tell your friends, tell everybody. In fact, if we get enough people involved in it, there is a twist that might happen. So get out there, subscribe, get your friends, get your spouses, get your kids. We've got something for everybody on with Fish Addictions, and we will all year long. And there's a lot of cool things that are going to be happening. A lot of cool things that are happening, will be happening. And I think Fish Addictions is a people pleaser. So if there's things that we get people reaching out to us all the time, asking us to film and fish in certain areas. And we're totally 100% open to any of that. And most shows are, but we're definitely trying to put a twist on things with what we're doing. From here on out, all these episodes are going to be in the Big Bite. We have next week's episode won't be. We went to the Alexandria area, which we haven't talked about at all. Did a big big bluegills, big crappies, man. It was pretty epic. You had something to say?
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there either.
It was pretty rocking at home. I don't know.
Really? Yeah. I mean, it was good enough where I was back in one day.
The mom caravan ran.
Honey, how do you do it? Tell everybody how you do this.
One day at a time.
When are you going to let the kids just take the Ranger to school?
Ooh, so this is kind of a new thing for us, right? So the other day,
they ride the bus.
Oh.
Much safer.
So
Listen,
what's the mom caravan doing?
Practice.
We can take the Ranger.
Listen, that's what's been going on, Thor. Like, I gave the okay to take the Ranger the other day. We live 1, 2, 3, basically 3.5 miles from town. Well, when you take the back way, it ends up being 3.5 miles or so. And the other day I'm in town doing stuff, and Abby, my daughter, calls me. She's like, "Dude," I'm like, "I'm never gonna make it back. You need to take the Ranger." Now she's taking the Ranger every day since.
She does have her ATV license.
She does have her UTV license.
She got it
This summer. Because she couldn't ride the golf cart at the lake unless she had it.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a good rule for the lake to have. It really is.
Yeah. Except for someone like Jake, who can't get his UTV license yet, but is probably a better driver than most 18-year-olds.
Yeah. But
still, the responsibility factor kind of comes and goes. I get it.
And realistically, it's kind of nice to have kids leashed in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll give in, but I don't agree.
I mean, toss him the keys to your Warrior. Let him rip that around. Then he's not going to bug people at the campground.
Let him get the boat. The little boat. The little boat didn't ever make it to the lake.
Wasn't it at your parents' cabin?
No, not this year. Oh. Yeah, it's been here. We took it out to Devil's Lake a few times, and that's about it.
Did they get a new little boat for the cab?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they, the Josh Clausen boat, we call it, is out there.
Okay, yeah, because that's the boat that I always recognize as being Jake's. Yeah. And I was like, I've seen that boat being used. Not by Jake, but...
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Josh Clausen boat's out there, but the Sylvan, we got a little Sylvan with the 25-horse Suzuki on it that we got for Jake, and I've used it more than he has. And
so did you truly buy it for Jake? Or did you truly buy it for spring fishing when your boat is too big and you need a little boat to get in?
I truly bought it for both reasons. I mean, 100%.
I mean, the other option is you get something like a kayak or a canoe, and then things are significantly more dangerous in the cold water. So,
not unless you tip it.
Yeah, but kayaks and canoes are very easy to tip.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you get hit by a chunk of ice.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
How else are we going to get into all these little lakes up at Devil's Lake without it? Right. You're right. We should bring that out to the lake and just leave it out there this year. You're right. I'm so sorry.
Why don't you take it there in April when you go?
I will. We didn't have a place in April, to be fair, at that point.
End of April. Mm-hmm.
Are we really going to have an argument?
No.
On
I'm not
my
arguing.
podcast?
Do I look like I'm arguing? I'm not arguing.
So it's talking about next year.
Next year. Like tomorrow.
Well, yep. So technically tomorrow, or 4 days ago, because of production time. But with Norsk lithium batteries, are you looking forward to having lithiums in the back of your boat now?
I'm really, really excited about that. Actually, there's a lot of times when we're tournament fishing and stuff that we're putting those trolling motors to the craziest ends, and you get like 6 hours of hard use out of them. Yeah, I mean, we're talking at least double or triple the time out of those trolling motors, and lighten the load up front. Right. I mean, we're gonna lighten that load by probably 60 pounds up front or more.
So, because you have your battery, so do you have your cranking battery in the back, and then your 36 volt system up front?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's up underneath the rod locker in my 208. So, yeah, I think it's going to be pretty impressive, I would guess, without actually running it so far. So I can't. I mean, everything I have used of the Norsk batteries for our Garmins and our flashers and all that kind of stuff is, first off, really lightweight. Second off, it's done everything it's supposed to do.
When it runs forever.
Yeah, I mean,
have you killed one yet?
Nope. I fished Lake of the Woods 2 full days on it on a live scope, and it was still at like 40-ish%.
That's pretty impressive.
For sure. So.
Well, and I don't know if it's the same in a walleye boat, but I know like with my bass boat, for every pound that I've put up front, it's equal to like 5 pounds in back as far as the weight distribution on your boat is.
Oh.
So having those lithiums, you are probably going to end up with a faster boat too, because you're going to cut a lot of weight up.
Sure. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's crazy. Like when I'm pre-fishing and stuff, I'll get, 56-7 miles an hour out of my boat. And when I take the tournament load or the pre-fish load out and only have a tournament load, and especially if I'm not going real far, I won't put a full tank of fuel in if I know I'm not going to need it, and I'll get 60. So it makes a big difference. So that 50-60 pounds is going to make a huge difference as oh yeah, for sure. And that's something we've talked a little bit about, but not a lot about, is the Norsk stuff. The Norsk was a little background on Norsk. Everybody knows the AMP batteries, the Dakota lithiums, but Norsk has really come onto the scene. And a lot of guys are kind of not sure about it. And I will tell you that 2 years ago, what a lot of people maybe don't know this, but I also own with Tony Aloya the Fargo Ice Fishing Show, and Norsk is a local brand from around here. Guy's crazy smart, knows his
Fargo,
stuff.
correct?
Out of Fargo. And really knows his stuff. And he developed this battery, and actually, he didn't develop it with Garmin, but with Garmin's advice, because the biggest thing that people always question, or why lithium batteries really came about, was for longer run times with the LCDs and the graphs and all that kind of stuff, where it was using a ton of amps, a ton of juice to run these things. And, you were getting 4 to 6 hours out of some of these units, and then they were dead. Well, I'm sorry, when I hit the ice, 95% of the time I'm on the ice for 8+ hours. And even like putting your graph screen down to 75%, or, it would help a little bit. But now it's like I can have everything at 100%, run it the way I want to do it, the way it's most effective. And the lithium battery is giving us all that. Plus, we're running GoPros, we're charging our cell phones all off the same battery, and we're getting that life. And I think that's one thing Norsk did really well, is integrated that USB plug into their batteries, and they also integrated a digital battery status, which is
huge.
Go check them out, because it's really something people should be paying more attention to. They're changing, because you are going to see, I call it right now, there's no other battery company out there that does those two things, the USBs and the digital readouts. Next year there will be.
Yeah, there'll have to be, if they want to compete. Right.
And there isn't a lot out there in that space, the lithium battery space, that there is to choose from. You really have Dakota Lithium, you have Amped Outdoors, and then you have Norsk. And really, if I was being totally truthful, they're all good, but it's what you have a little extra that makes you better. And Norsk has those two options that I didn't think the digital readout was going to be that big of a deal. But I look at it all the time. Like, where am I at?
Right.
And sure, it's not going to make your battery run longer or what have you, but it gives you that little bit of extra information of where you're at.
They put a fuel gauge in your vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Everything.
Not everybody uses it.
Well, yeah, but
but everybody uses it.
Right.
Everybody uses it.
Whether or not
people just wait until the light goes off.
Well, yeah, but that wouldn't happen if there
those
wasn't
are
a fuel
called
gauge.
females. Sorry, I had to say it. It's true.
Because
Love you, honey.
Because I want to start a fight. You did pick me up to go to opener one time, and you had 17 miles to empty when I got in the truck. And we drove past 4 gas stations before you were like, well, you know what? Maybe we should stop.
But I still was watching the fuel gauge.
You looked at me and said, I don't know if we're going to make it to Badger.
Yeah, well, we made it. And I was watching it the whole way. I was hoping and praying. I was doing the male portion of that and being like, we can make it here and let's push it. I wasn't doing the ding, ding, ding. Oh, I better put gas on.
I was just glad that you didn't have the boat that the boat was already up at Lake of the Woods. Because we wouldn't have made it.
And I would have stopped sooner because I was looking at the fuel gauge.
Yeah, but there was 20 miles back to the next gas station and 15 to the next one, and
We made it. We're still here to talk about it.
yeah.
Ugh.
Wild day. It's
It's
a good
all-
opener too.
I'm trying to remember this exact experience.
It was the year that Anthony bought his first Warrior.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of coming back. It's all coming back to me now.
And the ice was
Don't
already
do that.
the ice was,
She's like, no, nope.
the ice was already off the big lake, so we weren't contained to the river. We were able to go all the way out.
That's right. I do kind of remember that. But we made it. We're safe. Don't worry, honey.
It was the last time I
Don't
fished
worry.
walleyes on opener too.
That's a shame. We're gonna change that this year. We're gonna,
Every anniversary.
what?
Every anniversary. No Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. I'm sorry.
So she
There is
doesn't
not
remember the
one
anniversary
There
either.
is not one person out here. Please comment on this because this is a yearly thing. My wife thinks I'm the only person out there fishing on Mother's Day.
No, I know.
And I keep telling her, you are not my mother. You are these kids' mother. They are with you. There are hundreds of thousands of men out there fishing on opener and texting their wives saying, Happy Mother's Day. We'll see you tonight.
Is it hundreds of thousands though?
Thor, shut up.
Because like North Dakota doesn't have a fishing opener.
Yeah, but all of Minnesota.
Yeah,
Minnesota. It's a holiday.
it is.
Like, would you expect me to stay home on Mother's Day if deer hunting was on it?
Yes.
I mean, the governor leaves the office for opener
Yeah.
and Mother's Day, and he's the governor.
She is my biggest support group. But when it comes to Mother's Day, it is a fight. Okay, this is how it goes. Can I do this? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. Are you going to opener this year? That's like 2 weeks beforehand. Yeah. Oh, okay. And then it's a week beforehand. What day are you leaving for opener? Well, we're gonna go up Friday and we'll fish Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll fish half a day or more Sunday and come home. Oh. And it's just that. Then the week goes on just fine, and then it's like Thursday. It's been bothering me since we started talking about it. And are you really going to fishing opener and going to miss Mother's Day? Yes, dear. Jake and I are going to go enjoy a Minnesota fishing opener on Lake of the Woods like I've done since I was 14 years old.
Have you missed an opener since your first one?
Was that last year?
Last year?
You didn't go last year?
No, we went.
COVID didn't.
No, we went.
I thought they couldn't fish.
Jake didn't go. No, they closed down the river, like the spring river stuff. I mean, as a wife / mom, what are the covenant days that like we're gonna get the old stink eye if we're gone?
Anniversaries. Do you know that? Birthdays.
Oh wait, hold on.
Whose
Got it.
birthdays?
Yeah,
That's important.
your birthday, kids' birthdays.
All birthdays.
And there's a point against another kid.
Honey,
Unless you take a win.
I do.
Oh, so that's bonus. That's points for more kids. Because if you get to take every kid fishing on their birthday, the more kids, the more automatic days in the boat. Or out on the ice, depending on when they're born.
And more diapers to change, and more bottles to mix, and more days of a kid sleeping in my bed, and more crying nights, more sleepless nights. There's so many things toward that it's not worth going fishing on their birthday for the next 35, 40 years. I love my kids more than anything in this world, but I am so ready for no diapers. I am so ready
We're
to.
almost there.
Are we though?
Let's say within a year.
Oh, God. Okay.
Within
Birthdays,
2020.
anniversary. Birthdays are kind of like an iffy thing if we take them with. Okay, next. Can you work on people's birthdays?
I usually work on probably my birthday.
Okay, so that's that's where I have an out. I'm working when I'm fishing.
It's like a yellow light.
Yeah.
Yellow light. Got it. Yellow light. Yeah.
So
To you.
I don't think you want to make the argument that you're working while you're fishing.
To you or to these people?
To her.
Oh, he calls it his job all the time.
Right. But so that means you have to film opener. You have to film on Valentine's Day.
I'm getting a fishing report all figured out, Thor.
All right. Just saying, like, you have to come back with some content.
It's content.
Mm-hmm. You have to create some content in
For
order
sure.
to count it as working.
But
it could
it's
be
kind of
pre-fishing.
it's kind of natural to like create content where we're fishing now because like I don't know. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but we've been doing this for 8 years. So it's like we're out there doing stuff. It's kind of fun like to capture the moments even when the camera guy's not in the boat.
Yeah.
For me, for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Alex watched his short stint on our podcast a bazillion times.
Well, he should. He did a great job.
He thought he was funny.
He was funny.
He was funny.
He was hilarious.
He is funny. He is a one of a kind little human.
And he does what he wants.
Yeah.
You don't care what anybody else thinks.
The times that it's hard for me to like remember to create content when I'm fishing are when I'm fishing alone.
Yep.
Like if there's somebody with me.
But the crazy thing about that is like when you're fishing alone and stuff, like that's when you can be the goofiest.
Well,
because I feel like super like we're in runnings, creating the vlog for the kids fish giveaway. Which if you missed it, shame on you. But what I noticed is that we were not talking at a normal voice. We were definitely
there's a stage
down
voice.
a few octaves inside the store. It's a natural thing for me. Like we've been doing this for 8 years, but it's not like just second nature to do this. It really isn't.
No, you have to force. I mean, it's not that you're forcing it, but it's a conscious decision.
Sure. Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
where, like, for me, when I'm in the boat and I catch a nice fish, I think to myself, man, that's a great memory.
Yeah.
If somebody else is in the boat and they catch a nice fish, say, here, let me take a picture of that for you because that's a good memory.
Right.
You don't take a picture if you're in the boat by yourself?
I mean, it's
I always
really
forget
hard.
to.
It's really hard.
Like, I'll
to
put
take
the
a
fish
selfie.
back and I go, I'll put the fish back and then I, give
do
the.
one of these.
Well, I mean, sometimes I do, but just about every picture like that looks the same.
Yeah.
So you only take so many of them.
You don't get a good picture of the fish. It's just,
You need a selfie stick.
I do need a selfie stick. Also, I have given my mom 5 selfie sticks for birthday or Christmas presents.
She uses it.
Well, yeah, but she loves them. And
so you just keep upgrading her?
no, you do the same one. It's like a $9 selfie stick off of Amazon.
What does she?
She
them?
break them.
What does she need?
Well,
Or does she have one in every room of her house in the vehicle?
Well, they travel a lot, and then their friends travel a lot, and they'll loan them. I don't know how. Well, they're also only $9 selfie sticks, so
Yeah.
they probably
Does
break.
it have the
Probably.
remote?
Yep. Yeah, it's got the button right on it, and like $9.
Laura tried that once.
She loves them.
Your mom.
My mom's a selfie stick woman too. I know she's owned several.
Yeah.
I have not given her any of them, but she has owned several. And I always think it's weird. Like, well, when we went to Florida as a family
What?
or Hawaii, she had a selfie stick. And I'm like, what
That
the
was my selfie stick.
hell is she doing?
That was my selfie stick.
I thought yours never worked.
Nope, that's my selfie
That never worked?
stick. It works.
Well, but either way, I'll catch a nice fish and I let the dog look at it. I give the dog a scratch on the ear, say, man, that was cool. Put it back. Never think about taking a picture of it unless it's, because there's a difference between like a nice fish and a phenomenal fish, right? So like catch a lot of 4-pound bass in a year.
Yeah.
I don't catch a lot of 5-pound bass, and I catch a lot less 6-pound bass.
All right.
So those ones, you make the conscious effort of like, hey, I'm going to do this. But,
But it's those days where you're out and you're catching 10 4-pound bass where
Right.
you're like, dang, I should have done something.
yeah,
I wonder, I've thought this a lot because we're very, very, it's a double-edged sword with what we do because we have everything.
Mm-hmm.
We remember the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever.
Most of mine's ugly.
Well, we all have faces for radio.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we relived that. And I think we take it for granted that, like we get to capture most everything that we're doing, all the way down to the smallest of the fish, to the biggest of the fish, to the worst days, best days.
Yeah.
I always kind of wondered like what people do themselves. Like, are a lot of people, I know a ton of people like have gotten GoPros. GoPros are a huge thing, have been for years. They clip them on, if they're fishing up front, they let them run and away they go. What do people do with that stuff? I mean, there are a select few people that use it.
Right.
I mean, when we first got GoPros, we did a lot of that stuff with like our kids and stuff, hooking them to snowmobiles, and we really never did anything with it.
Right.
We watched it back quick and it's like, ha ha ha, done.
Yeah.
It's like photos. Like, where do they get stuck?
Right.
I don't think it's something that you would go to right away. But lower.
Yeah, but do you know
kids?
Do you know where any of that is nowadays?
Yes, it's probably on.
Yes, it's probably
external drive.
Yes, it's probably on an external drive. We don't know that. Or I guess I think you do have Facebook for that kind of stuff now, and I hate that. Why do I hate that so much? Is Facebook always going to be here? Are we going to lose every?
I don't know. MySpace.
I just had like
that was by choice though.
A holy crap moment.
That MySpace is less of a thing now.
Oh, it's still out there?
Yeah, it's fairly big for musicians and stuff still.
Really?
Yeah.
But that's like weird. Like, what if Facebook just disappeared on us? And Instagram and stuff, like, what if it just disappeared? We'd lose half of our lives.
You can save it.
Holy crap.
I mean, we'll just go ahead and put this out there as rebuttal to that and a tidbit of internet safety. Everything you put on the internet stays on the internet
somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be able to find it when I'm old.
Somebody will be able to find it.
No, you probably won't. You'll probably call your daughter or your son and be like, "I can't get this to work."
Somebody will be able to find it.
Are you saying I'm gonna be an incompetent old man one day?
Oh, I think we all are eventually.
Oh, I can't wait.
When you got an excuse or what?
Hey, do you remember to do this? Nah, getting old.
So, honey, you've been on this ride. I want to jump into this. You've been on this ride with Fish Addictions, and I'm going to say for sure you're one of the biggest parts of what's happened with Fish Addictions because of the support we have at home. We say it all the time. Every year we reiterate it, and we get asked it all the time. Like, what do you do? I think people would like to know, like, how has this been changed? How has it changed for you? How have you been such a big support of this from really day one? I mean, I'll be honest. Day one, I got an eye roll when I told her what was going to happen. But there's been several times throughout this whole process where I've thought maybe we're done. And maybe it's, gosh, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of this. And she's actually not let me quit. Not that I would have quit it, but I was right there. Because it's a lot of time away. It's a lot of stuff you miss. But there's a lot of good to it. There's a lot of, don't get me wrong, that there's been way more good times than bad times with Fish Addictions, but it's tough.
The lows are very low.
The lows are low. The highs are high. And the in-betweens are you ride it out. But I've been asked many, many times by female anglers. By the way, my wife loves to fish, and we will fish more together at some point. But we still have kids in diapers, and it's tough. And especially it's tough. Well, you got to fish probably more this summer than normal because we got a place, Devil's Lake. But can you walk? Because everybody's heard my story, how we've started, what we've done, but nobody's ever really heard your story. Do you not remember it? Do you not want to tell it? Do you not have anything to say about it? I mean, there's a lot of people that are honestly interested on how you guys play into this, and really the one of the biggest players is the support system you have at home.
I guess you just had a dream, and
it's not that simple.
It just is one of those day at a time, and you take the good with the bad. And you are much happier when you're doing that. Not that you're not happy at home. I don't want to make that. But you are, I mean, I just one day at a time, I guess. I don't know. But supporting your dream. I mean, you got married and you support your dream. Like I would expect you to support my dream.
Yeah. But it hasn't been all wine and roses. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, no. But you take the good with the bad, just like you said. I mean, you take the late nights, you take the carpooling when the kids get more involved and have sports and have practice and have this and that. And I guess you just do it one day at a time and you don't look more than that.
Has this ride been fun for you?
I mean, it's kind of been a fun ride. I mean, probably a lot funner for you doing it.
You got something to say, Thor?
Well, who do you think's more stressed? Who do you think gets stressed out more about the success of Fish Addictions?
The success part of it, me. But I would say that she definitely feels when I'm stressed out about it. One thing that Laura has always said to me is when I come to her with these crazy new ideas that we're going to do is, okay, you know, and that's something with our relationship that we've done in a whole is just, okay, well, I trust your judgment, you know? And so we've made some crazy calls. This not doing Fox Sports North, which was 100% our call, is something that I struggle with till to this still, you know, because like I said earlier, Fox Sports North was like, that's the place. That's where you want to be. That's when I was 12 years old watching these fishing shows, that is the place, right? So it's hard for me personally to let that go. But I also know personally that we can make it happen, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, Laura is behind the scenes, helps with the books. She helps obviously keep the family together. She helps me stay organized. She even does some grocery shopping for the guys. I mean, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that wouldn't happen or maybe wouldn't happen as well if she wasn't a part of it. So for her to say she just takes one day at a time, like that's a great way to put it. And you're so perfect. But
far from it.
No, but it's like, I think you simplify things a lot. You know, I mean, like you celebrate with the good times and you're there in the bad times and the in-betweens. It's a support system that I know everybody knows is super important, but there's a lot of people that ask. There's a lot of people that wonder and
truly, I don't know.
Well, and that's the beauty about it, because I don't know how I get from point A to point B most times in life. So if we had a true explanation of why, and how, I don't think it would be as genuine. You know, we take this ride that we're on because we're on a ride one day at a time. We don't know what I know where we're filming next week, but I don't know what the weather's going to be. I don't know what the wind, everything, road conditions, are we going to be able to get there? And that's probably the biggest thing with how I have to give props to her, because it's not, oh God, you're going to be gone again. You know, it's, where are you going this week? You know, the most information. And I will tell you that technology has made it easier, probably because we're able to communicate. We're able to video chat with my kids. You know, I've got a support system with my kids too. We all do, you know, I mean, they like everybody involved with Fish Addictions. They're always asking and what's going on, what's this, but I get to physically see them and talk to them every day.
Well, and you know, back, you know, when I was working on the pro staff for Fish Addictions, when we were setting up for the, you know, we traveled together a lot, obviously, and shared rooms, and we were sleeping in your old permanent ice house out on Detroit Lakes before the first kids fishing event.
Oh yeah.
And we stayed up too late, as you do when it's the guys. And the kids called right away in the morning, like 3 to 4 hours before I typically would wake up. And what my first conscious, like the first thing that I consciously accepted from that morning was Jake crying because you had caught a 25-inch walleye the night before. And I remember Jake going, but you said you weren't going to fish without me. And that was, that was like the whole light bulb moment where it was like, the Olsons fish. It's what the whole family, for Jake to come up with that kind of passion at 5:30 in the morning.
And at 5 years old.
Yeah.
Was he 5?
That kid has been an absolute beast, like for fishing. Like I remember at 5 years old taking him on an opener. It's freezing. And he would not say a word. Like he was just like, I'm fishing. And if I complain, we're going to be done fishing. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to say. Now, as he's gotten older, he's kind of gone the ups and downs of that. But at 5 years old, he would sit there and shake. I remember having other kids in the boat and they're like down underneath the console, eating a bag of chips. And Jake is over the side of the boat like, no, we're fishing. And I know if I say anything, we're going to be done. It's not going to be that Dad's mad at me. I would have never got mad at him.
Right.
I would have understood at 5 years old. And I wasn't upset with the kids that weren't fishing. I understood that. But I was always super impressed with how he just understood, and he tried so hard. And his milestones, I mean, Jake has caught more fish over 25 inches than a lot of grown adults because of his consistency in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and the kid just absolutely loves everything about it, loves the outdoors. I mean, he's probably spent more time in the deer stand than most grown adults, and it takes time and effort and patience and everything in the deer stand and in the boat and on the ice. And I think he got to go ice fishing like 5 or 6 times last year. But more because of basketball and school and that kind of stuff, because he's got extracurricular activities.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's priorities.
Right. But that's like every time we come back from a film shoot and we do well, he's like, can you take me there tomorrow? It's like, man, that's 6 hours away. Like I can't just jump back in and take you back.
Sometimes it's literally days away.
And I have kind of a rule, like my kids are my everything, right? So like if I'm out here telling people to be careful on the ice, like I'm not ready to take my kids out there yet. I get it. We can be careful and most likely things are going to happen and ice is never safe. But I kind of have a rule like 12 inches for my kids to be out there, and it bothers Jake to no end because he's always like, I suppose it's not safe yet. And early ice is usually the best fishing.
Yeah.
It's the easiest fishing. It's the best fishing. The fish are still very active and very predictable.
Yep.
And so I definitely get the eye rolls from him on that, but it's fun. It's fun to see the progression. And my daughter, she caught the biggest walleye on Devil's Lake last summer. 28 and a half inches.
On a bobber?
On a bobber. Nothing wrong with that. That's a technique that we all use.
That is a tried and true technique.
Oh, yeah. As old as it.
Because she's like, it's gone.
Yeah, bobber's gone. Real.
Like, well, real. It's big, Mom. Is it a stick? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. The stick is fighting back.
Big fish.
I mean, in her defense, walleyes really don't fight that hard.
Big walleyes do.
You never caught a big walleye?
The last walleye that I caught was 27 inches, and it did not fight. It gave me 2 head shakes before I got to the boat.
Where was that?
That was on a lake small enough that I don't want to share.
Okay.
It at one point held the North Dakota state record for the walleyes.
I mean, walleyes are a different beast. With bass, you can horse them. You can do the things you want to do. With walleyes, you have to finesse walleyes because they will rip. Like their mouths will rip wide open. So it's a whole different, you can put them in the same class, but that's unfair. A walleye, if you do not fight a walleye right, you will lose it.
Right. With
bass, you can horse them all the way to where you want them because their mouths are leather. And
I think it has a lot to do with the technique that you're using though, too.
A walleye's mouth will just rip very easily. If you have too much tension, and especially big ones, they will just, if you don't get them back far, if you get them anywhere up front, it's just so paper thin, it'll just rip.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is like, it really doesn't matter. They'll rip a hole. So if you ever let tension off, just a hook will fall straight out. A lot of guys don't understand that. They don't take that into perspective when they're fishing them, but with that much weight, with like a 27, 28 inch walleye has, you got to have it. Everything's got to be done right.
Yeah. And in my defense, I was smallmouth fishing when I caught that. So I was fishing a heavy rod on heavy braid with a big jig, and it was noon. I
don't disagree that walleyes aren't going to fight like bass are. It's just a totally different perspective.
It's a different enjoyment in why you're catching them. To me, it seems like walleyes are fun because of the chase, where bass are more fun because of the fight.
Sure. Yeah, I won't disagree with that. It's the hunt.
Right.
It's the hunt factor. And not that you're not hunting for bass, but it's a different factor.
Yeah.
It's the hunt factor for sure for walleyes that do it for me. If I'm in the boat and fishing, walleyes is where it's at for me. That's what gets me going. But trying to get stuff out of you, and you're just so short with everything. There's a story there, and you just don't want to tell it.
So what is your favorite part about Fish Addictions, and what is your least favorite part?
Probably my least favorite part is the travel portion of it and the time.
That's my least favorite part too, to be fair. I mean, not that I don't like traveling to all these places and that kind of stuff, but I mean, last year I put almost 30,000 miles on my truck for Fish Addictions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I love traveling and seeing stuff, and there's a really goods and bads about it. But I would say overall, that's my least favorite part of it.
I'd say my favorite part is just the opportunities that come with it. And like the opportunities that, not so much that I have had, because obviously but my kids have gotten part of it. Mike has gotten a ton of opportunities that have come through from his hard work.
Mm-hmm. So what opportunity, if you could pick, an opportunity that Fish Addictions can provide for you, what would it be?
For me?
Yeah. Cause so Mike gets the opportunity to go fish Wekusko Falls, to go out to Lake Erie and fish places that people are dreaming about.
Well, I hope eventually I get to go with him. But until that time, I get to see pictures.
I mean, I think the opportunities that are their opportunities are just sporadic. There's different opportunities that allow us to do things that, even her, that she wouldn't normally get to do. I mean, I think one thing she really enjoyed, and she's probably a little not upset, but a little bit disappointed that we don't do anymore, is the kids fishing event that we did every year in Detroit Lakes, because she has a big part in it. And so like the opportunity just to be a part to put that on, because that's kind of people we are. We're givers. You know what I mean? I've seen nothing better in life than sharing an opportunity with people in general.
Or just seeing Mike live his dream, knowing that he dreamed about being this, and dreamed about doing this.
I mean, I loved sports. I loved sports. I loved all that stuff in high school, but my dream was to do stuff in the outdoors, and we're living it every day. And that's why every decision we make is based on what I think is best for what we're doing. And we're 8 years strong. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we're not going anywhere soon. And I hope one day that I can hand the reins over to somebody like Jake or Connor or Al or Abby if she wants to be a part of it,
The Olsen Outdoors.
Nope. It'll always be Fish Addictions, Thor. Josh Clausen's voice at the beginning of every episode will live on forever.
Yeah, but what if one of your kids grows up and has just a ridiculously...
They can use it in other ways.
Okay.
Do a side shoot.
The hair on the back of my neck stands up every time I hear that. If I try to pre-watch an episode and skip over that, it doesn't feel the same. Is that weird to say? Because I noticed it like last year. I'm proofing these videos, and I would skip over it, and I'd watch like 5 minutes. I'd be like, I go back and rewatch it right from the beginning. But just because that is like, all right, here we go for us.
That was all started in a permanent ice house, probably like right here.
Probably like right where this building is.
Right here.
And a lot of people don't even actually know that. Like when we first started editing, Josh would come over. We had a permanent ice house at the point in time. We'd turn the TV on, shut the door, lock it so the kids couldn't come in, and we'd edit the first videos.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but we ask just about everybody that's been in here, what would be your dream fishing trip?
Somewhere warm.
I get that. A dream of mine is to hit the Triple Crown on what do they call it? The Grand Slam on a fly rod, which is all saltwater fishing.
Are you still on the fly rod thing? You still have it? I know for a while you were kind of going that way.
Yeah, I throw flies every once in a while. Around here, there's not enough like good fly. You can fly fish for anything.
Yeah,
but around here, there's not enough stuff that you would need to fly fish for to necessarily justify it. I mean, I keep a fly rod in my boat all the time.
Do you?
Yep. Well, yeah, because they fold up into a tube.
No.
So I keep a fly rod in my boat just because. Although the one bite this year that I had that would have been really fun on a fly rod, I didn't have the fly rod in the boat.
Yeah. There's two things that I would, of all the things we've done, there's two things that I would like to do. And one is I would like to fish tournaments with my kid. And I would like to fish tournaments with my wife. There's a few people out there that fish tournaments with their wives. And it just seems like it just works. You know what I mean? Like you get each other. It's a pressure situation. It's kind of fun. You're working together as a team. My thing is I have a son that really, really wants to fish tournaments. And without COVID, we would have fished tournaments last summer. And I have a wife that likes fishing and I think would enjoy it as well. And I see me fishing tournaments with Laura as we get older. And I see me fishing tournaments with my son until he can fish with one of his own partners.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a lot of fun. We realistically have 16 years before that's going to happen for us because we have a child that's going to be in our household for at least 15, 16 more years. I don't think we're going to be able to leave him alone until he's out of the house. Like we can't just leave for a week to pre-fish and leave him here. My shop will be ruined.
You could bring him with though.
Yeah, but what is he going to do tournament day? Just hang out?
I mean, when you look at, the tournament trails where, a very common trend, one thing that almost every successful angler has, as far as tournaments go, is the true support of their families.
Yeah.
So you look at guys that have made careers on the Elite Series, their kids grew up on the road with them. Granted, those are individual tournaments, so it was, their wives or their spouse and their kids were, spending tournament day together. But, if you're doing something where you're going to, pull the fish house with and then pull the boat with so you can stay in it, why not bring, a child that can be alone for a day?
Yeah.
Especially because these tournaments aren't happening in places where kids can get themselves in a lot of trouble.
Well, in all fairness, they're not having their spouse or significant other in the boat with them.
Right.
And that stuff too.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the difference, on that level. But, I'm sure that, I was staying home taking care of my brother for a day or two at a time when I was 16, 17.
Absolutely.
You can do it on the road too.
Well, those are two things I'd really like to. I'd also like to get my kids involved in fish addictions at some point. When they're old enough to understand what we're doing. Jake has been involved a lot. I mean, he's got one of the most watched videos of him catching a pike, 37.5-inch pike or whatever, as a young kid, and he's very shy about it, but he loves every second of it. Right? He loves all the guys. He loves all the experiences. The kid has experienced more at 10 than most adults ever. I mean, there it goes back to the opportunities that we love about fish addictions is our kids are getting this well-rounded opportunity to experience things they wouldn't normally get to experience. And that's what I love most about Fish Addictions. The people I meet, a lot of people come up to you and like, oh, sorry to bother you. But what they don't understand is when we're traveling and we're out and about, that one of the most, I'd say, satisfying, gratifying thing is people saying, hey, like your show. It's simple. And have a conversation quick. I don't care if it takes 20 minutes. I'm trying to get home, or we're filling up with gas and we had a long day on the ice. Like, it energizes us. It energizes us as pushing hard. And sometimes we need that. It's fun pulling up to a gas station and someone pulls up and be like, hey, Mike, how's it going? And you're like, I don't know him, but that's cool. Or love your show, or you're in a sports store, you're in runnings, you're in different area, wherever you're at. And there's the guy kind of looking at you weird. I always make it a point to walk up and be like, hey, how's it going? And maybe they can't quite put where they saw us before or what we're doing, but it's fun. That is by far the most fun about what we do. It's not the recognition. Right. It's the, hey, I like what you're doing. Yeah. Because we're our own worst critics day in and day out. Everything could be done better in our eyes, and or that's how we strive. I shouldn't say it could be done better, but we look at what we do, what we produce, what we put out, and then that makes us better the next time because we're always striving to be better. That same thing I say about being an angler in general. The good anglers, the good fishermen are people that are always learning and always striving to be better. If you think you're the best, you're not. If you think you can't learn anything, you're full of crap.
When there's I can't think of the who said it, but if you think you're the smartest person in the room, find another room.
Right. One by yourself.
Why settle for being average?
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I do want to say that I always feel like we have to thank everybody that supports what we're doing, even like this podcast. As we feel our way through it, we've had a lot of support on this already. We don't know where everything's going. We're trying to figure things out to get guests on. Mm-hmm. We're trying to be more organized, but unorganized at the same time, because I think that's kind of what's fun about what we're doing. We're just out here, we're talking, we're just having conversation and get the chills and freezing cold. You're always cold. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I love everything about what we're doing, and we're just trying to do more. So criticism is a good thing. Criticism is a humbling thing. And let us know what you guys think. We're out here just having a conversation. That's what this is about. We're not trying to be crazy in depth with a lot of things. We're just out here having a conversation. Now, are there episodes where we're going to want to get stuff? If we got the guys from Garmin on, we're going to ask them the questions. We want them to tell us about it. But when we're just checking in, that's kind of what we're doing. It's the real thing that's going on. I mean, we're traveling the Midwest. Once we really start getting going, like I said, we haven't gone too far from home as of right now. We've up to 3 hours. Don't get me wrong. They're great episodes. I wouldn't change it. And we have ideas of places we want to go and things we want to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. But we've kind of been holding back a little bit, I think, without this Big Bite house, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, but what do you think? Think it's time to end this thing?
Yeah. Laura, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, Laura, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I mean, anything that you say right now
is on record.
No.
I love you, Michael John.
Ooh,
thank you.
See how he didn't use that as an opportunity to put himself on record.
I love you, Laura Marie. Hi, Barb. Hi, John. Hi, Mom and Dad. Love you, kids. I'm putting it all on record right now. Thanks for all the support. Did I just get this thing going?
All right, guys. Well, thank you, guys and gals. thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fish Addictions, The Real Talk.
I was kind of wondering if you're going to get it right.
Yeah.
But
now I got to start over.
No, that's all right.
And now I'm thinking about it.
Do it again.
And you know what we always say? The first time is usually the best time. All right. Thank you guys and gals for tuning in to another episode of Fish Addictions, The Real Talk. I'd like to thank Laura for being here with us today. And we are going to take off to go celebrate New Year's Eve and welcome in a new year.
And don't forget the Garmin giveaway. Tell all your friends, your family, everything about it. Who doesn't want a live scope in their hands? Go to our YouTube page and find the video. Should be right at the top of your page. Comment on it and subscribe, and you will be entered to win that Garmin live scope. And if this goes well, guys, we're going to continue to do these cool prizes. So go do it. See ya.